You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
That's the wine and diner with kings and queens.
You're looking at the man. You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Wednesday and 9:06 p.m. Central Time here in San Antonio, Texas. And welcome to the show, guys. I am Drew, and back on the show is
a very not hot no more, very cool Justin Spy Mustard Tees and SpyMustardTees.com.
all right. He's not hot. He's hot. He's definitely is
I'm
hot.
hot, but yeah, I don't want to be physical. I don't want to be like a temperature hot.
Yeah, if you live in Texas, you need an AC, you need a fan, you need central air. You do not want to live in the heat. Trust me.
Yes.
I don't recommend it to anyone. But we're back on the show tonight. We got a nice little show going. I got my articles, I got my topics, and we got some fun stuff to do later in the show. So I guess we'll talk about the most fresh thing is Dynamite. I'll mute if I have to cough. AEW Dynamite. I watched a little bit of it. I saw the MJF and Adam Cole stuff. I watched the main event, and of course the closing segment. Justin, and I'm assuming you watched the whole show.
Watched the whole show, yeah. It was a very easy watch tonight. I thought the show was fun. They advanced a few things, a few storylines or whatnot. Not a perfect show, but I thought overall it was a very, very fun show and a good build to Blood and Guts next week.
Yeah, the Blood and Guts. That'll be next week in Boston. And then of course this Saturday is the Saturdays are Q&A, but this Saturday for Collision is the finals for both the men's and the women's Owen Hart tournament, finals.
Right.
So it should be a nice show on Collision.
And they also have Battle of the Belts too. So Collision is basically going to be 3 hours on a Saturday, which is that's going to be tough.
What time does it start?
7.
7. You said it's going to be 3 hours?
Yeah, because they're going to have the 2 hours of Collision, then another hour after that is going to be Battle of the Belts.
All right. So we're going to do it at 9. Would you be willing to just record through it like we always do, or would you want to start after the show?
No, we'll just start at 9. I'm not trying to be up super late, especially because I gotta be at the shop early on Sunday. So yeah.
Okay. Just I didn't know your preference. I didn't know if you wanted to just watch the whole show first and then record. But Q&A this Saturday, same time as usual, 9 p.m. But Dynamite. Kyle says he'll be there. So Dynamite, I did see the Adam Cole and MJF stuff. Like I said, I was telling Justin, who's shocked that I even watch AEW. We both like the MJF and Adam Cole stuff because
it's so good, it's so fun.
MJF is naturally funny, and Adam Cole is being the straight man. He's being the guy in this that's just I gotta deal with this fucker. And MJF is that guy hey broski, hey, let's hang out guy. And MJF saying things that you shouldn't be saying, and Adam Cole just kind of calling him out, just dude, you shouldn't say that. There is the one where they're at the gym and MJF's making fun of the big guy in the gym, and he makes a fat joke, and Adam just goes, Max, you can't say things like that, that's uncalled for. And then they bond over their hatred of Tony Schiavone, which was funny. And then MJF calling in while Adam Cole's streaming on Twitch, which was funny.
Oh, that's just amazing, so funny.
And then today, they were at a bar. They were drinking. you see these 4 hot girls walk by, and then MJF just goes, 2 for me, 2 for you. What do you say? Adam Cole just going, I really care about Britt. I love her. And then MJF going, hey, you want me to just turn the cameras off? Huh?
Yep.
So he apparently takes all 4 girls to the bathroom and just fucks them all at once. I guess.
Came at on his dick. Just like what the fuck, man? Hilarious, man. Then they end up playing the new Fight Forever. Have you do you have the game?
I don't.
You know, oh, it's so fun, so fun.
RJ has it. He said it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's so fun. But regardless, though, it's just and there was like a character moment there too. Even though it was like funny, it was a little bit of a character moment where MJF where Al Cole's basically like, "Oh, this is a multiplayer game," and MJF like he's like, "Oh, I don't have any friends to play with or whatever." So you kind of see where like. Why MJF makes fun of gamers or whatnot and all that shit because he didn't have any friends himself to play with. So he kind of looks at gamers as, fat slobs or okay. So he's just in a way kind of jealous, and we kind of saw that in this segment tonight. But yeah, man, very funny stuff, man. Very funny stuff. I'm really loving what they're doing.
Sorry. Yeah, we're both in agreement. I love the segment because they both play off of each other well. It's not stupid comedy. It's not that overly done dumb comedy that we've seen from, and I'm not just going to pick on AEW. WWE does it too. So, it works because it's pretty much in every... We've seen this story. We see, Cool Hand Luke and the funny guy. And... and I was telling you, like, I hope this doesn't end the way we think it's going to end, where it's just like, MJF just turns around and just goes, "Ha, I'm the devil. Ha, I'm the bad guy."
Yeah, it's probably going to end that way, but I believe I told you when you came into the shop that they should have it to where that MJF should still turn on him. But he should give the reason be like, well, you never really accepted our friendship. You know what I mean? You never really accepted me for me. But at the same time, though, like, as of right now, Adam Cole's like kind of like, storyline wise, just turn around on MJF. So I don't know how they can really go with that. But, this is not going to last long, you know what I mean? Because I believe this may be the match for All In Wembley, you know what I mean, for the title. So, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying what they're doing so far. So,
Awesome. And then the main event of the show, the main event match, was Nick Wayne versus Swerve Strickland. Pretty ballsy to put an 18-year-old kid in the main event of your national TV show. I'm not saying to be a dick. I'm really not. When I put up the tweet saying, they're really going to have an 18-year-old kid main event their national TV show. I wasn't trying to be a dick. I even said straight up, okay, let's see what this kid can do. And I hate to say kid because, he's literally a kid. He's 18 years old. So I would try to be fair and partisan, just let's see what this guy can do. And I thought he did a good job. I thought he had a good match with Swerve. I was expecting Swerve to do the job, but luckily, he didn't, which, good, because my worry about this kid, I keep saying kid, is I don't want them giving him too much at this age, because, you look at Randy Orton. When Randy Orton was that young, they gave him so much, and then it almost ruined him. So to me, it's more just like worry. I don't want anything bad happening to him, because I don't know him. He seems like a good dude. So I kind of hope they don't give him too much too fast. And, it looks like that's kind of the case.
I mean, I really like Nick Wayne. I've been following him for at least a couple of years now, so I'm already been aware of him. But, over this weekend, I rehashed on the history between Swerve and Nick Wayne, and maybe I think it was 2 years ago at this point, when Swerve got released from WWE, he went back to Defy in Seattle, wrestled against Nick Wayne, and he almost lost to Nick Wayne. He almost lost to Nick Wayne. At this time, he was 16 years old still. So, So Nick Wayne, he and we talked him all before. We talked him all before when he got signed, and I was kind of saying that he's pretty fucking good. And, you know what I mean? Like he's better than some of the guys that are in NXT who's been there for like years and years and years and all this shit. So like he's pretty fucking good for his age. So just imagine him 5 years from now, 6 years from now, like he's gonna be like 24 years old and being like one of the best in the business. You know what I mean? And sky's the limit for him, man. Sky's the limit for him. So, we'll see on what happens. But I thought he had the perfect match tonight. Not to say it was a 5-star match, but he had the perfect match as far as his debut on AEW TV. But he's been having big time matches, for like at least the past like 3 years. You know what I mean? When he wrestled Swerve, he wrestled Will Ospreay, he wrestled Takeshita. So he's been wrestling. He has been wrestling against high profile wrestlers already. So if it's your first time seeing Nick Wayne, sky's the limit for the kid. I mean, hopefully, he stays the course and tries not to try not to get as big headed as some other talents we've seen in the past. But yeah, no, I think, like I said, I think he has a bright future.
All right, so like I said, that's pretty much all. Like, oh yeah, then the ending segment with Don Callis coming out and announcing the 5th member for Team Blackpool, which ended up being Pac, and Pac. I was gonna say Ambrose, Moxley, and Takeshita. I'm sorry. We're all beating on Kenny, and Kenny, said on the mic, we still have a 5th member too, and it ended up being Kota Ibushi.
Yeah.
So Kota Ibushi, we the 5th man. Cool. I mean, that's all I can really say. So, but and then the rest of the Elite came out to even the odds. So, yeah, next week we got our 5-on-5. So, I'll watch. I mean, I've watched the other Blood and Guts matches. I'll watch it out of curiosity just to see what happens. But yeah, I mean, next Wednesday should be a big show. So what happened on the rest of Dynamite that I missed?
Well, you had your opening match with Commander and Chris Jericho. It was an okay match, but it wasn't really about the match. It was about what happened afterwards. Don Callis came out, and I really like this here. Callis came out because obviously Callis is trying to befriend Chris Jericho and try to have him join the Callis family, and basically, he was talking about like, well, hey, remember we used to be a tag team, this, that, and the other, and he showed some old footage from like 1995, when him, Don Callis and Chris Jericho were a tag team, and they were basically, not trained per se, but they were basically, mentored by, Bad News Allen, aka Bad News Black, aka Bad News Brown. And, basically, Callis was saying that, Bad News, said like, hey, always stick together, always stick together. So, I think that Jericho is going to have something to do with this, with the outcome of this match next week. So, we'll have to, wait and see with that. But I really like the segment though. Then you had, Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy was, having his little interview backstage. He's obviously running from Hook. Hook, during the interview itself, tried to get it because Jungle Boy was inside of an SUV, and the door. There was child locks on the doors, which I didn't understand, and Jungle Boy was like, "Oh, child locks, whatever," and he ended up opening up the door from the outside. It was funny the way I said it though, but he ended up opening up the doors from the outside of the car, and Hook was trying to chase him, but Jungle Boy got away. So, I said this already with this first promo. As I said, I think Jungle Boy sounded a little like he's trying too hard. He still sounds like that. I appreciate, I like the character that he's portraying as a heel, but just I don't like on how he's delivering his promos. It just sounds forced. So if he can clean that up, if someone could get in his ear, who's been there for who's been, here in the business for a long time, maybe like a Chris Jericho, maybe like a Taz, maybe like somebody that knows how to deliver these promos a better way. I think that will do Jungle Boy a little bit better. But good segment there. Outside of that, we did see, like I said, the MJF Adam Cole segment. We already talked about that. Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy versus the Jericho Appreciation Society. Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara for the Blind Eliminator Tag Team Tournament. Standard match, nothing special. Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara win. Swerve came out and basically screwed over Darby Allin, obviously because they're longtime rivals. So there's that. Then you had we already talked about the other. Well, we didn't talk about the match, but Adam Cole and MJF beat Big Bill and Brian Cage, and Ruby Soho versus Sky Blue for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament semifinals. There's so many goddamn tournaments in AEW right now. It's so annoying. Ruby Soho wins and she advances to the finals. Then you have, let's see. Oh yeah, then there was like a Harley Carmen music video from QTV, which I didn't really care for.
Yeah, I saw that shit.
yeah. I didn't really care for, whatsoever. So, but like I said, I thought Dynamite overall, I thought it was a fairly good show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was an easy watch. I didn't really feel insulted during it, with the exception of the Harley Carmen thing. I thought that was the worst thing of the night, but I thought it was a fun show.
I just put that on mute and just watched her. Anyway, so that was Dynamite, people. So let's start with where are we at? SmackDown. So SmackDown last Friday, July 7th, was in Madison Square Garden. The big chunk of the show went to the Bloodline. That was like what?
An hour went to the Bloodline. Let's just make that clear. An hour went to the Bloodline.
That's like the length of an HBO series. But an hour went to the Bloodline. We'll just kind of skim through it. So it was the trial of Roman Reigns, or was it the Tribal Chief trial, whatever the fuck you want to call it? And Roman just telling Jay, you want this because I don't want it anymore, blah, blah, blah. And then gets on one knee wearing Jordans. So that's huge. And then starts crying because he doesn't want this anymore. And then low blows Jay. And that segment went on for a very long time.
Like 25 minutes, something like that.
Oh, yeah. Like after that, even the beatdown went on for a very long time. And granted, at least they had the wherewithal to send people out there to try and stop it, even though they weren't really stopping it. But Solo beats the shit out of Jay and tries to make, or not Jay, Jimmy, Jesus Christ. He beats the shit out of Jimmy and makes Jay watch, and then Jay gets out. But, Jimmy's already beat down, so Jimmy's sent to a local medical facility, while Jay is in the back of the ambulance with him. So later on the night, to end the show, Jay ends up coming back, challenges Roman, tells Roman, I want you one-on-one so I can beat your ass, blah, blah, blah. And, that's kind of the rumor, which is not so much a rumor anymore from the way it looks, is we're getting Jay and Roman at SummerSlam in the main event for the title. It's been damn near 3 years since this Bloodline thing started, and it looks like it's not so much ending, but it started with Jay and Roman and Jay. Now it looks like it's going to end with Roman and Jay. I told you what I felt about the segment. I thought it went way too long, and from what you saw on the rest of the show, it kind of suffered because you had Cross and AJ, which was only 90 seconds. Granted, it's coming out that Cross was actually hurt, so maybe that's why he came out with the bandage on his knee, but that greatly suffered. The women's segment only had 90 seconds. Every other match kind of suffered for it, except Edge and Waller, which we'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, me and RJ talked about this. We're kind of not tired of Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, but it's one of those things of you already know the formula. Each segment is going to be a sitcom length, and clearly it's the best thing going on in wrestling right now. But it's at the point where it's okay, these segments do not need to be this long. Find a point find a stopping point and just get to it. So, but that's kind of my view on the segment on Friday. What did you think about the segment on Friday?
I mean, I love the segment. I love the segment, and again, as I mentioned from before, like, okay, did the show suffer from it? Yes, it did. Absolutely did. I think some of these segments do need to be shorter, but if it was a little bit shorter, I think that there probably still be people complaining about it, like, oh, well, it should have been a little bit longer. So you're not going to make everyone happy, right? When it comes to stuff like this, but it definitely could have been shorter for sure, because as I mentioned before, once this storyline ends, WWE ain't gonna have shit, because as of right now, Vince McMahon's back in control of this shit, and as of right now, both shows are suffering from it. Raw sucks, with the exception of whatever's going on with the Judgment Day, and SmackDown sucks right now because there's nothing on the show other than the Bloodline, right? SmackDown in general, what's going on with the United States Championship? Ever since WrestleMania, Austin Theory's been doing nothing. SmackDown has no tag team division. They really don't. They got, you got Pretty Deadly there, but it's like nothing significant there on SmackDown. The women's division, don't get me started on that. They got Bianca Belair, possibly turning heel. Asuka doesn't mean anything. Charlotte doesn't mean anything on this show. So there's no substance on either shows right now, with the exception of the two biggest factions. And of course, the Bloodline reigns supreme. So I like this segment. I did. I like this segment overall. You know what I mean? Because again, when you got guys like Roman and Jay and Paul Heyman, you gotta sit, you gotta watch, and you gotta pay attention to at the end of the day. And I think it's coming to a point where people are actually starting to take what we're seeing for granted at this particular point in time, because it's like, we've seen this before, or we've seen the formula and this and the other. Well, at the same time, okay, if they weren't doing this, what will we get? What kind of television show will we be seeing? You know what I mean? Is there going to be anything that's going to be important on this show? As important as the Bloodline, right? Most likely not, but will we even see like a tenth of importance? Probably not. And the fact that right now that, to me, this is more of a Vince McMahon type of feeling type of show. This doesn't really feel like the Triple H show. This time last year, you tell me this time last year that Triple H was running shit versus now. It's two completely different things. But back to the segment stuff. I thought the segment overall, I thought it was good. I thought it was good for what it was. Could have been shorter. Yes, it could have been shorter, and it did suffer the show. But fucking, what else do you have at this point in time for people to? And also as well, and everyone looks at this too as well. The Bloodline segments do fucking monster. So the reason why they have these segments so long is so that way when they look at these core hour breakdowns, that the numbers will look as good. You know what I mean? So That's another thing as well, because if they go too short, then the core hour rating, they may have one good core hour rating, but maybe not that second quarter hour rating. So that's another reason too. So,
right. And the ratings came out. I think that whole segment in general drew a 3.
There you go. I mean,
which we'll get to the final ratings for SmackDown. There's the preliminary and then there's the final, which we'll get to after we're done with the show. So. The rest of SmackDown, again, suffered because the segment went on too long. Probably the second best part of the night was Edge versus Grayson Waller. And that's something you probably wouldn't hear as being the best part of the night. But Edge came out on the Waller effect, and Waller thought that he was retiring, but Edge is like, no, I'm not retiring. I'm here to have a match. And it's going to be against you. So Grayson Waller's first match on the main roster. And Madison Square Garden against Edge. And Edge even said, you're either going to sink or swim. Waller clearly swam. He had a really good match with Edge. I was not expecting the match to go on as long as it did. I thought it was going to be like maybe 10, 12 minutes, but I think it was like 15, 17 minutes.
Something like that, yeah.
And he had a really good match with Edge, and Edge made Waller look like a star. There was the bit at the end where Waller goes in for his stunner, from outside the ring, and Edge spears him. Nice little spear, and of course Edge got the win. And Edge, even got on the mic saying, "Hey Waller, you swam," and throws the mic at him. So we got another promising young star on the roster. Good, because at this point we need more stars. Because like you just said, after we're done with the Bloodline, what else do we have? We need more stars, especially since the main event of Mania next year is more than likely going to be Roman and Cody. So you need more stars to build up to put in front of Cody. You need more stars to put in front of Roman for the time being. And once he's done with Jay, who's he going to wrestle? Jimmy? Solo? After that, it's like you need more stars to put in front of him.
Maybe Bray Wyatt.
Okay, so I don't know if you saw this.
That's from what I'm hearing, at least,
Right, but I don't know if you saw this, but Undertaker had said that Bray Wyatt needs to go back to the original gimmick, the Swamp Man, Cape Fear gimmick. What do you think about that?
Sure.
I wouldn't mind it, because it's I think that was the more, I don't want to call it stable, but I think that was a more consistent gimmick because it was just simple. Whereas, when he came back, he was doing, the Fiend, which got over, and then they fucked that up. And then he comes back as himself, kind of, and then he's feuding with, Howdy Doody or whatever, and then that didn't work.
When he came back, last year, I thought what he was doing was great. But again, as I mentioned, and I mentioned this before, when it became around, Royal Rumble, I'm like, this is not the same Bray Wyatt that was cutting promos, the promos that he was cutting, talking about himself and, him being, him being himself, just being Bray Wyatt, right? The man. And that, between that and the feud going into Royal Rumble, I'm like, this is not the same guy. Vince McMahon's involved, and sure enough, we ended up finding out that, yeah, he was involved in some retrospect. And also on top of that as well, the story, remember the story when Bray Wyatt was like, whoever wins between you and Lashley and Brock Lesnar, that's who I'm gonna go after next, and nothing happened from that. So it's I don't know, but from what I hear right now, Bray is not medically cleared. He's not medically cleared right now. I'm hearing that it is it's a serious medical condition. He's just,
I thought it was mental health.
No, it's nothing to do with mental health. It's something for him physically that he cannot come back and wrestle right now. Nothing like injury wise, but like he's sick. I don't want to say he's sick, but there is some illness. There you go. There's an illness that he's going through right now. So I don't think it's mental illness, though.
I don't know. The thing I heard was mental illness, but again, just
it's not mental illness.
Right.
I can tell you that it's not mental illness.
Okay, all right. Again, I wish nothing bad on the guy. I hope he comes back healthy. Despite what I think about his gimmick, or his current gimmick, the guy got a reaction. The guy was a merch seller. He was
still is a merch seller.
He still is a merch seller. So, it'd be nice if he did go back to the swamp gimmick, because again, that's what got him over. That's what got him noticed. So I think that would be much better. And I don't want to spend too much time on this. We'll get to the next topic, but it's just my biggest gripe with his comeback is when he came back, he got that big reaction to Extreme Rules, and then on SmackDown he gave that promo where it was just him. Like, he was just speaking as him, as a human being. And, like, I wasn't expecting it, because I was expecting, you know, the Bray Wyatt Spooky Man promo. But it was him speaking as a human being, talking about, you know, I've lost so much, I've lost friends. Talking about, you know, what's his name? Brody
Lee.
And it's just like, okay, I can get behind this Bray Wyatt. I can get behind a human being Bray Wyatt. And then they end it with, you know, the Uncle Howdy shit. I'm like, there we go. Here we go. And I could just hear RJ in my head, like, you know, Drew, what were you expecting? Like, don't be.
But again, that's not his fault at the end of the day, because originally if you look at the original, I would say like maybe like first month, there was some progress there, right? And remember, he hired his own writer, right? Or not him, but like WWE hired a writer for Bray Wyatt, right? I guarantee you that is not what they envisioned for this character. I guarantee you this. I guarantee you that Vince McMahon had definitely had some type of influence and change on the direction of the Bray Wyatt character. There's you can look at the promos, you can look at the segments and see that there was a complete different turn right around the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Case in point, the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match.
Oh, well, you were there live for that, so.
Yeah, I like to repress that. So Collision, Saturday, I did not watch Collision, which I wish I did, because I heard the main event was pretty good, but I did watch the main event.
The main event was really good, actually, yeah.
CM Punk and Samoa Joe, the first time they've had a wrestling match in 18 years.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've heard the match was great. Punk won, after which, you know, Joe put him in the the Kokuna clutch, and so I guess maybe that's a feud they can revisit down the line. Let me ask you something. So, like, this is the Owen Hart tournament thing. Like, do you think it would have been better to have Punk and Joe in the finals instead of the semifinals?
No. Too predictable. It would have been too predictable that Punk was going to win. At least with this, there is a slight chance that Ricky Starks will win.
Right. I mean, I say that because, like, you would think someone like Tony Khan, who, you know, fancies himself as this, you know, wrestling historian and loves, you know, indie wrestling and stuff like that, you would think that he would have wanted that as his finals, as his main event. But yeah, I guess you're right. It's too predictable. But yeah,
but not even that too. I think that there is a chance that Ricky may turn heel again or something. I don't know. Or CM Punk may turn heel. I don't know. But I think that, because the finals is this Saturday, so I think there's something that may be coming out of this. I may be wrong, but it's just my gut feeling. I think something, not a big story per se, but a big transition can be happening here with the finals here.
All right. Did you watch the rest of Collision?
I did not know. I was super tired from Saturday.
All right, we can just move on from that.
I watched the main event. I thought the main event was good, really good actually, but I didn't get to watch everything else. No.
All right, Collision had a.
Oh, well, you know what? No, I take that back. I did watch the FTR and versus Bullet Club Gold. Very good match. Very good match, and also on top of that too as well. That's going to lead to a title match this Saturday. So, yeah.
All right. Yeah, this Saturday should be a pretty packed show. I'll give it a watch, definitely. But that was Collision, people. Now we're on to Monday Night Raw, which was this past Monday, obviously. It was at Buffalo, New York. Mm-hmm. The show opens with... How the hell did the show open? Oh, Finn Balor and the rest of Judgment Day coming out to, I guess, to kind of try to resolve their issues. Seth Rollins comes out eating wings, which, you know, why the fuck not? They're in Buffalo, so he's going to eat buffalo wings. It made me hungry. I wanted wings. which I didn't get wings, unfortunately. And Dom winning another match against Seth. So that ended up happening. And then that match turned to a big schmoz with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn coming out to kind of even the playing field. So the main event of the show ended up being Judgment Day versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. Fun match. It was a match. It did what it needed to do. You had, 6 really good competitors. Judgment Day got the win. Which I don't want to make it sound like it's shocking, but they're giving them momentum because of everything that's going on with Damian and Finn. So, and what the fuck just happened? Are you fucking kidding me? Shit. Are you fucking kidding me? Ugh. So, Discord, for whatever reason, decided to do the not responding shit and just close Discord in the middle of the fucking show. I have no idea why the fuck it did that. You gotta be kidding me. Hopefully it didn't, completely end the show. Am I still on? Says I'm still on. That's weird. I hate this fucking laptop. If it's not one thing, it's the fucking other. Fuck this laptop. Fuck it right in the anus. Okay. Let's see if I can get back. And it's... Let me get back. Come on.
And Gargano to come back because Gargano has been cleared to come back, so that's good.
Alright, I'm back.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I don't know what the... I have no idea what the fuck happened. Discord, for whatever reason, froze and then it closed. But luckily, it didn't fuck up the show. But
yeah, no problem. I was just trying to cover for a little bit.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for holding everything down, even for 90 seconds. Thanks, man. Yeah, Raw, the main event, Judgment Day getting the win, which good. They really want them to look strong, especially with the storyline with Damian and Finn. What'd you think about the main event?
Nothing special. It's the same shit we see every fucking Monday. It's a multi-man tag team match as a main event. It wasn't bad. It was fun, but it was what? Did I have to sit through 3 hours to watch that main event? No,
right.
No, I didn't. It's, they all worked hard in that ring, and I thought the match was good for what it was. But again, it was could I probably could have went to the gym and just, got a good workout in instead of watch Raw because I wouldn't have missed anything. There was been nothing.
Right.
There had been nothing I could have missed. There, I know, the major thing right now is the Judgment Day, the dissension there, and all that stuff. But it's at the end of the day, it's there was nothing in that match that was oh, I have to see that, or there's dissension. There was nothing that mattered. So, I didn't really care about the match whatsoever. Even though the match was at times entertaining.
Right. You're not wrong. The rest of the show, Logan Paul and Ricochet face off. Ricochet doing the anything you can do, I can do better shtick by doing a backflip out of the ring, and Logan Paul taking off his sunglasses.
Hold on, that was a front flip. A backflip out of the ring would be even more impressive.
It's still impressive either way what he just did, but setting up a possible match at SummerSlam, which is all but confirmed. I like the line with Logan Paul where he tells Ricochet, "You're all forehead." That was funny. But yeah, Ricochet, they clearly like Ricochet. To give them a match against a high profile. I don't know about high profile, but someone of Logan Paul's magnitude, because you would think with Logan Paul they want to save him for main events or whatever, main event stars, but the Royal Rumble spot where they did the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon spot, as I call it. They remember that.
Why? Do you know why this match is happening? So Logan Paul can get a win.
Okay,
that's the only reason why this match is happening.
Well,
I'm gonna like it. I really am gonna like this match. I know they're gonna put a good match. This is the only reason why the match is happening.
Well, no. I don't doubt that at all. Logan's obviously gonna win, but it's I'm more so talking about Ricochet. Do you think the company is I don't want to say they're gonna make him into this big star, but do you think the company likes him enough to put him in a match like this?
Well, yeah. Well, they trust him.
Right.
They trust him in this position. Who's usually in this position having celebrity matches against celebrities? The Miz. And we already saw that match. So this match here, the company trusts him, and they know that they're gonna put on a good match because Logan Paul, he is going to do well against guys like the Miz, ring, not necessarily ring generals, but guys who've been there for a long time, like Roman Reigns, or guys that have a very exciting offense, like a Seth Rollins or a Ricochet. So, yeah, this match is going to be good. I really think this match is going to be good, but let's just call it what it is. This is just for Logan Paul to get a win. So, which is not a bad thing, you sign this guy to a contract, you gotta get return on your investment. So,
right, but good on Ricochet. Ricochet's kind of
absolutely,
getting this rub against high profile talent, or or in his case a high profile celebrity. So maybe this could do more good for Ricochet. You know what I mean? But I digress. Let's see. Again, yeah, it was kind of a meh Raw. It was one of those things of if you missed it, you weren't really missing much. You had Becky Lynch and Zoe Stark. Zoe got the win, which I was a little surprised by because I thought it was going to be one of those things of, Becky gets the win regardless, but, she put over Zoe, so good, because I like Zoe. Tommaso Ciampa versus The Miz in a street fight. That was pretty entertaining. And then you had Bronson Reed come out to take out Ciampa for whatever reason. But I guess that eventually sets up maybe a DIY reunion, maybe.
Yep.
And a tease of Rhea's next opponent, which is Raquel. Which, judging by the matches they had in NXT, this should be a good match. I don't mind it. And we already talked about the main event. So that was Raw. Again, like Justin said, really nothing special. It's with Raw, it's I don't want to say I try, but I'll put it on, I'll watch it, but if it's just one of those shows where you can already tell where it's going, it's I can miss the main event and not really feel like I missed anything that was key. If it's a Raw or a SmackDown heading into a big pay-per-view, say Royal Rumble or Survivor Series or Mania, obviously I'm going to watch it because I want to see where it's going. But yeah, Raw was just really nothing special this week. But
again to point out, this time last year, not even this time last year, maybe August, September, Raw and SmackDowns were very must see. You want to know why?
Triple H.
Because you don't know who the fuck was going to come out at what time. You didn't know Johnny Gargano was going to come out. You didn't know Karrion Kross was going to come out. You didn't know if Candice LeRae was going to come out. Which I'm not saying you need to have that to have a good show, but it made it must see. And also on top of that as well, they stopped. I'm noticing this shit. They stopped. For the most part, not completely, but for the most part, they stopped doing those backstage Easter eggs. You know what I mean? Like, remember when, God, I can't think of, there was something, like, going on in the background, and, like, it ended up being, like, Braun Strowman or some shit like that. Like, do you remember that shit from last year, where shit was, like, there's, like, two guys arguing in the background, or you see, like, the Hurt Business, in the background with MVP talking about something. Like, you don't see that now. So it's like, they need to add things like that consistently for us to make sure that we're not missing on anything, and we can kind of foreshadow to see on certain things coming. Or fucking like or like Nikki Cross just back there just doing like weird ass shit, and like, so I don't know, man. Like it's clearly the dip in quality in these shows has been seen, has been suffered. Triple H and Nick Khan, at least as of last week, they're reportedly trying to have Vince McMahon, they're trying to keep things away from Vince McMahon to make last minute changes. So it's like, who's really in fucking charge? You know what I mean? So you got guys arguing backstage, which I think at the end of the day, I really think that news story is really a nothing burger to me. I think it's really just like,
which I have the article up right now if you want to.
Go ahead and do that.
Which, according to PW Insider, like Justin mentioned, there was an argument backstage. After all, an argument broke out between involved match once everyone got backstage. The lingering issue stemmed from a view that the match was clunky, quote-unquote, mainly due to planned elements of the match literally changing at the last second. One wrestler in particular was said to be the source of many of the resulting problems. However, they remained unnamed by sources in order not to provoke a firestorm over the internet. While the argument was said to be heated, there was no danger of physical altercation occurring. Ultimately, things dwindled down and everyone walked away from the situation without escalation. But most involved were still not happy with the situation as a whole. It's that goddamn Dom, that no good inmate Dom. I'm playing, but it's kind of a nothing burger because, like, again, I gotta be the guy that shits on AEW every now and then. But this isn't like a CM Punk elite, media scrum situation where they literally came to blows. In this case, it was more just like they were arguing. I mean, I'm pretty sure these guys are friends. Most of these guys are friends in real life, and they just, chill and hang out together. But like friends, like brothers, and even, sisters, we all argue. We're all going to have one of those days where we're just like in each other's faces and just arguing about shit. And at the end of the day, you just walk away from it because, like, shit happens.
That's pretty much what it is, I think. I was going to say the same thing too. I think it was just like a disagreement on stuff, but let's not ignore the fact that at least, there's two things I want to bring up. Number one, Sean Ross Sapp confirmed that, like, this original report is actually not as big as people are making it out to be. Like, it's not even supposed to be like that important, that big on this here. So he was just saying that, what was going on backstage was really more just of a disagreement, not necessarily as an argument. So the fact that the word argument was used is a little bit misleading to what it actually is. Right. Number two, also in the article itself, it said last minute changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Said last minute changes. I'm not even gonna say who, what, when, where. You already know where I'm going with this. I'm just gonna ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
In a Triple H led NXT. Have we ever heard stories about this? About like backstage, disagreements, arguments, things of that nature?
No.
I rest my case.
Well, maybe with Drake Younger, but that was a different story. But that was Raw, people. NXT, I missed the last 2 matches because I was dealing with the situation. But the big chunk of the show went to the Judgment Day coming on and challenging. Well, not challenging, but calling out Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams challenged Finn and Damian Priest to a tag match in the main event. I missed it because, like I said,
let me ask a quick question before we move on here with the NXT. Do you think that with Judgment Day being on NXT last night, do you think they're being overexposed?
That's an interesting question. I could say yes, but I could say no. I think at the moment, other than the Bloodline, they're the hottest faction in the company. So I don't know how to. I really don't know how to answer that, and I don't want to sound like I'm trying to avoid the question. I really don't know how, because it's just like, again, you got the Bloodline, you got Judgment Day. Judgment Day run Raw, Bloodline run SmackDown. So I really don't know. Like, what do you think? Do you think they're being exposed?
I think they are toying over to overexposure. Not like I'm not annoyed with them or like, oh, here comes the Judgment. It's not like that. But it's like, I'm noticing that y'all on the shows a lot. Like, I don't want to have to be annoyed with you guys at all. It's not like with Cody, like WWE hasn't overexposed Cody. I don't think we ever mentioned of Cody being overexposed. At least for me, I say that Cody is just not being used the right way. Like with the whole Brock Lesnar situation. You know what I mean? But right. That's completely different. But with what's going on with, with the Judgment Day, like, they were on at the beginning of Raw, on at the end of Raw, on, during most of NXT. Now they're going to be on NXT next week because it's going to be, not Carmelo Hayes, but it's going to be, Wes Lee versus Dom for the North American Championship. So it's like a little bit overexposure there. A little bit. I mean, I get why too. I mean, right. They're huge rating draw, so I understand why. But it's like, that kind of tells me that when people get overexposed or groups get overexposed, that just tells me that your lack of creativity and also B, your lack of creating more stars.
I mean, they've done it before. I mean, look at the New Day. The New Day, when they started out, like, it was kind of a shit gimmick that you didn't think was going to last, and then they organically got over because all 3 guys had personality and they were funny. And, also the up, up, down, down channel, I think, helped a lot. And then, again, typical WWE, way of thinking, like, oh, you like the New Day? Well, we're going to give them 20 minutes of television time each week. It's like, no. Just keep it the way it is. And then they got overexposed, and not to say that they fell apart completely. Well, not completely, but I mean, they're still selling merch. People like them. But yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, Judgment Day is kind of in fear. We're kind of in fear of Judgment Day getting to that point where it's like, okay, these guys again. Like, can we see something new? And that's kind of how maybe some people feel about the Bloodline, which is like, why do these guys need almost an hour of television when other people need that time? But yeah, they're on NXT. The main event, I again didn't watch because I was dealing with the situation. But yeah, Judgment Day won. Before that, I did watch the rest of the show. The best match of the night, hands down. I can't really think of another match that would top this. Ilya Dragunov and Braun Breaker, and a number 1 contenders match for Carmelo Hayes' NXT Championship. As you can imagine, great match. Ilya knows how to bump. He knows how to sell.
He's amazing, man. I love him.
He knows how to work with big guys. I mean, the match that he had with Dijak, I think, is it's in my top 3 for match of the year because the guy knows how to sell. The guy knows how to work against big guys. Like, I mean, there was a point where, like, I think Braun either speared him or did something to him, and he just, like, he did the Homer Simpson thing of falling on a fire hydrant, and his back looked like it was, like, all the way cracked. I'm like, this guy either looks dead or he's just a really good actor. And he's just, like, dead set on getting a concussion. Because he's just, like, going at fucking Braun. And, you know, Braun, again, to Braun's credit, you know, give Braun a good opponent. Braun works better against smaller guys. And he can have a good match. And, you know, he's been having really good matches as of late. He had a good match against Seth. And now he has a good match against Ilya. Who, I mean, this is probably another match of the year candidate. Maybe not match of the year, but match of the year candidate. But
I wouldn't even go that far. It was a good TV match. I'll just say that.
But Ilya got the win, and now Ilya is gonna go on to face Carmelo Hayes at Great American Bash, July 30th. But what'd you think about the match?
It was a damn good TV match. You know, it just shows you two guys two future guys of the business, two future guys of WWE, you know, having a banger of a TV match. Ilya winning, you know, to me, I thought that was the right decision. You know, I didn't want to see, I don't want to say I didn't want to see Braun and Carmelo again, but I just wanted to see something different. And with Ilya and Carmelo, you know, there could be a chance that Carmelo may lose. I don't think he will, but there could be that chance out there. So, yeah. So at the end of the day, though, it was a very good TV match between the two, and yeah, we'll see. Now, my big question is, what's going to happen with Braun? Is he still going to have a match at at the pay-per-view, or, you know, does it just get moved up to the main roster, you know, after SummerSlam? So we'll have to wait and see.
I think this was his swan song. Or I think this was his last match in NXT, and we're going to see him on the main roster soon, whether it be at SummerSlam, before SummerSlam, or after SummerSlam. So, but I mean, yeah, he's dead set on being on the main roster, and like Maurice said, not a bad way to go out.
Yeah, definitely not a bad way to go out, for sure.
The rest of NXT, it was decent. You had Chase U versus Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey. Chase U getting the win. Chase U's over. Like, people love Chase U. Who was the other? I forget his fucking name. Duke Hudson.
Duke Hudson, yeah.
That's a guy who, in the past, like, couple months, past year almost, he has greatly improved. Like, he has not just improved in the ring.
He like Hurricanrana's during the match, so there you go.
That, and also he's improved in the ring. He's improved his character. Like, it's not one of those things where, like, I guess it felt forced at the beginning because they need something for him to do, but he's really taken on to this. Like, Thea Hale, and Andre Chase, they all have good chemistry. And
Thea Hale is just a ball of energy, and I love it.
I love it, and, you know, the crowd loves it, obviously. So, good on them. They've made a fan out of me. And Cora Jade versus Kalani Jordan. You can imagine my excitement for that match. Didn't care.
Well, I will say is Kalani Jordan, man, because, you know, this is our second match. I mean, she has potential, man. She really does.
And then probably your favorite segment of the whole year, Von Wagner.
God. Wait.
Go ahead.
Of the whole year?
Of the century?
No. God, no. Fucking of a fucking lifetime.
Of
what the fuck are you talking about?
But Von Wagner telling Robert Stone, thank you for letting me be myself for the first time. So they want to make a sympathetic babyface out of Von, which, good. I mean, they clearly see something in him. I know Justin sees a lot in him.
Oh, he's amazing.
What else happened on the show that's worth noting? And just highlights from last week from, I guess, you know, their underground match with Eddie Thorpe and Damon Kemp. Gable Steveson says he's not sure about his future with NXT yet. And then Dijak is not happy that people are calling Thorpe the toughest man in NXT. So we're going to get something with Dijak and Thorpe, which cool. Tiffany Stratton versus Ivy Nile. Stratton wins by pinfall. And Baron Corbin in a segment just, I guess, just torching his past, getting rid of old gimmicks. He's no longer going to be Happy Corbin. I guess maybe he's going back to, Lone Wolf Corbin. Maybe he's going back to
he just said he's getting rid of his whole past in general, and he's got to be someone completely different. So not even like the Lone Wolf or anything like that. He's just gonna be just someone completely different. So which is good.
I don't know. Like
I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I kind of hope he does come back with the End of Days theme. That'd be pretty cool. Just wishing. Dominic challenged Wesley for the North American Championship for an open challenge that doesn't even exist. So we're going to get that next week. And there's going to be a rematch with Thea Hale and Tiffany Stratton, which, I like their first match, so hopefully the next match happens. And then the fate of Tony D'Angelo. Joe Coffey versus Channing Stacks Lorenzo. Stacks gets the win, so that means the family will get a tag team championship match in the future. So good on them.
Well, now that'll be at the pay-per-view. So yeah, and I expect to see brand new tag team champions.
Awesome. And the main event, I already spoke of it. Judgment Day got the win, and that's really about it. What were your overall thoughts on NXT?
Decent show. Nothing great, nothing terrible. It was about like a 6.5 out of 10, 7. So it was. I thought like with NXT to me, like it's always a fun watch because you're seeing the development of these characters, of these wrestlers and whatnot, and seeing new people come in and they try different stuff down there. So, it has to be like god awful terrible for me to be like, oh, this show really sucked tonight. But I'm a little bit more lenient on NXT due to that.
All right, SmackDown from July 7th drew a 2.561, which is up from the week prior. The Bloodline segment really, paid off in dividends. Raw.
Do you have the rating for that?
For what?
SmackDown.
I just said it, 2.5.
No, the rating, not the viewership. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Last week's SmackDown, it's a 0.76. It doesn't say what it was. Oh, okay. So the total viewership for SmackDown was the highest since June 2nd. Oh yeah, and the 18 to 49 viewership since the often referenced NFL led episode in 2020. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I have the Raw ones. Raw drew a 1.81, which was slightly down from last week. They drew a 0.56 rating in the demographic and 0.38 with the 18 to 34 demographic.
Okay.
So, 1.8, I guess. 1.8 in this era is not bad, especially for money.
I mean, it ain't bad, but it should be fucking higher still. Like I had this. I'm not gonna name names, but it's the same AEW cockwriter on Twitter.
Right.
This guy, he pulled up. It was, I don't know if it was Dynamite or it was. I think it was Rampage. No, not Rampage. I think it was Collision. He never, ever pulled this card for anything else, but he started talking about DVD numbers. I was like,
oh, God.
When, like, come on, man. Like, when have, like, he's like, oh, well, with the DVD numbers, it's higher, and, that is actually, no, he was talking about the first episode of Collision. He's like, oh, with the DVD numbers, they were closer to 1 million. I'm like, bro, like, I know you're an AEW dick writer, but that's like a new low right there. Like, talking about DVD numbers, like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I digress.
NXT, Their viewership went up with the help of the Judgment Day. They drew 671, which is 32.1% from last week's 4th of July episode. Let's see. Their third highest viewership of 2023. They drew a .20 rating in the demo, which is up 53.9% from last week.
Yeah, that's very good, actually, yeah.
That's despite NXT going head-to-head with the MLB All-Star Game last night. The game averaged 7 million viewers on Fox. But, still impressive for NXT to stand their ground. But, yeah, those are the shows. Let's get into some news. Not a whole lot of news, kind of a whole bunch of nothing. Kevin Nash. I mean, again, these are kind of like nothing burger ones, and they make for interesting conversation. Kevin Nash, not a big fan of LA Knight. Says he's a ripoff of The Rock. Does nothing original. Said it on his podcast with Sean Oliver, the Click This podcast. Says, am I the only one that sees like an absolute ripoff of The Rock to the point when he can cut the promo on fucking Logan Paul or whatever the fuck his name is? The only thing he didn't do is turn the motherfucker sideways. Jesus Christ, does everyone have amnesia? There's nothing original. And he has doubled down on his criticism of LA Knight. He said, there's so many people who agree that LA is doing the Rock Steve Austin impression. I mean, the guy's been in the business for like 10 years. Why didn't he get over anywhere else? If you're not over in 3 years, it's probably just not going to happen. I was like, this is a rib, right? And then it's not. It's just what the character is. So I get hot, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? But they, fans on social media, said I buried the guy. I didn't say he couldn't work. I never seen him in the ring. I just said it. The character wasn't very original. I'm not going to apologize. I think it's a blatant ripoff, but I don't mean any harm. I mean, again, we've heard this before about LA Knight, Eli Drake, whatever you want to call him, that the guy very much sounds like The Rock and, Steve Austin combined. And my reply to that is, so what? Like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me the way people are pretending to be bothered by it, because, he, at the end of the day, he kind of makes it his own. And, like, at the end of the day in wrestling, everyone's kind of borrowed from somebody. Fucking Hogan borrowed from Billy Graham.
There you go. I mean, if the NWO was based off, a Japanese storyline that was happening in New Japan. So basically, the actual faction that made you the most money was basically, if you want to use that term, a ripoff. But it was draw inspiration. So, like, there's always inspiration in wrestling that we're gonna see. You know what I mean? So, like you mentioned of Billy Graham and Hulk Hogan, you got the Nature Boy Buddy Rogers and the Nature Boy Ric Flair, Jeff Jarrett taking the Fargo strut. You know what I mean? And people were calling the Ric Flair strut, but it's actually the Jackie Fargo strut. So it's like we're always gonna see this in wrestling. Now, at the same time, I am gonna say this. Kevin Nash, he's made more money in this business. He was on top of his business, so he knows more professional wrestling than both of us combined. So I will say that his opinion is somewhat valid.
Right.
It's somewhat valid. I'm not saying that, LA Knight's a ripoff, but like, I really think that he's because obviously he watches Raw, right? He watches Raw, so he has to be somewhat of a fan of him. He's criticizing LA Knight as we would criticize anybody else.
Right.
So I think that's just the way to look at it. I mean, to me, this is really nothing at the end of the day. Like, people get too butthurt over words, over what people say, and not create a thought, not create a thought process for themselves. Like, they just go off what people say. Like, okay, I like what he says, so my opinion is his opinion now. It's like, just be your own person, be your own man. Just, if you disagree with Kevin Nash, just be like, okay, hey, you look, I have someone disagree with them, but try to look at it from both sides too as well. Just don't look at it from one side and just be like, oh, he's completely right, or no, he's completely wrong. Like, if you understand both sides of the coin and try to come to some come to your own thought about it, you'll feel a lot better at the end of the day, and just know that at the end of the day, it's just pro wrestling, guys. That's all it is, just pro wrestling. And LA Knight, he's in a great position right now. He's super over. He's probably, they're most likely turning him babyface. He may have a match against Austin Theory at SummerSlam. He's also, Austin Theory, but LA Knight, he's gonna be okay. So, I think what we should be focusing on is if LA Knight's being used on TV correctly or not what Kevin Nash thinks. Kevin Nash has no political power at the end of the day. So.
Right. At the end of the day, everyone has their own opinion, and that's what makes wrestling wrestling. Speaking of opinions, Jim Cornette and Matt Hardy had a little bit of a disagreement, and Brian Last joined in. I'll make this quick. Matt Hardy posted on Twitter he has an AEW Rampage, the Dark Order versus the Elite. They had a match, and he put the following: Dark Order versus the Elite was a fantastic match. It's nice to see Dark Order earn such a well-deserved spotlight. Hashtag AEW Rampage. The Young Bucks and Adam Page are extraordinary talents that will unfortunately get their flowers way later than they should. A fan replied, Matt's right though. I know it's cool to hate on the Bucks and Hangman. If you're a Punk Collision fan but not from me, give those guys their flowers. And Matt replied, between this and the toxic Cornette cult, these guys don't get the adoration that they truly deserve. The diehard Elite fans are phenomenal and get why they're special, but there's a huge chunk of fans that fail to give them the credit they deserve. Give these guys their flowers. A lot of flower talk. Cornette replied, geez, Matt, I can understand selling your soul for rock and roll, but selling it for Adderall. Even if you have to abandon your principles and verbally fillet these childish cretins for your check, leave my fans alone. It's not their fault Tony's not paying them enough to lie. Matt replies, geez, Jim, I haven't sold my soul. I'm sticking to my principles and telling truths. I feel morally obligated to do right by my friends, although that's probably foreign to you. I earn a check because I'm great at what I do and still employable. Keep on seeding dissension amongst fans with your shtick. It's too sweet. Brian Last, Cornette's host, or co-host, he said he thinks he is great at what he does. We've all been watching. His promos suck. His in-ring work is shit. And the only thing anyone has ever been interested in him doing is tagging in his brother. Jim telling the truth, seeding dissensions, quote-unquote. How many concussions is too many? Matt replied with, I am great at what I do. Brian least. I am great at pro wrestling. I am great at giving back and helping young talent. You're just some asshole with an opinion, and that opinion doesn't mean shit in reality. But most importantly, just an asshole. Last replies, you've been a great enabler, but you know your crap has sucked for years, and that's Mr. Asshole to you. Toxic. Hardy, another shitty joke must be your forte, least. My shit's good. Your shit is shit. You toxic bitch-ass asshole. Last, are you trying to convince yourself your work is shit? Stay home. No one will care. You seem much more toxic than I am. With a track record, I'll try to be quick, to back it up. I'm better at what I do than you are at whatever it is you're still trying to do. Mr. Asshole to you. Hardy, don't have to convince myself. My live reactions, paycheck, and appearance fees solidify if I'm good. I don't know shit about you, nor care to, so keep doing what you're good at, you goofy bitch-ass asshole. I'll do the same, and you continue to whine and cry like a little baby, and I'll just kind of stop it there. Cornette, again, like I mentioned, had the wherewithal to just kind of dip out. He said, I'd like to thank Brian Last for staying up into the night toying with his concussed ex-great while he was protesting too much and how successful he is. I go to sleep too early on Saturday nights to have time to play with kids. Golly, Matt, don't you have signings to do? Yeah, again, this is one of those things of like, I really have no dog on this fight. I'm not the biggest I was never a Matt Hardy fan. I was always a Jeff guy. Matt, he's clearly the big AEW cheerleader, and we get why. It's his job. He gets paid. Of course, he's going to put over AEW. My thing is, I think Matt was kind of in the wrong for going out of his way to call out Cornette for literally no reason. Like, he could have just ended it with, I thought the match was great. You know, I think fans should really appreciate these guys more than they should, and that's it. And not just, you know, between the Cornette Colt and, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you probably should have just kept your mouth shut, man. But, I mean, there really is no winner in this fight, because like Justin said, it's a bunch of grown-ass men just arguing about shit that just doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But, again, I know you really don't care about this, but yeah, it happened. It happened, and now it's done. So, care to have any thoughts?
No.
Okay. And, that's really all the news I have. Do you have any news?
Yeah, I do, actually. There's a lot of news out there. Let me get rid of some of this stuff, but I'll just knock out these two reigns real quick, since I guess we skipped over them for Collision and Dynamite last week. Dynamite had 855,000 viewers, a .29 rating, and the 18-49 demo. It didn't say if it was up or down from last week, but it was number one in cable. It does show that here. So it was number one in cable last Wednesday. And for Collision, Collision did go up. I know this is a big ratings increase, but it was 508,000 viewers, .21 in the 18-49 demo. And, yeah, the 18-49 demo was up 62% from last week. So good for Collision. Seemed like they did better for last week's show. So, first news article here, AEW news. Warner Brothers Discovery and AEW have long been involved in television rights extension talks. They'll spoken to that the conversations have been ongoing for months, and they personally believe announcement of a deal reach could be made either this summer or this fall. And also as well, Warner Bros. Discovery has also been in favor of expanding AEW's pay-per-view schedule significantly. That's all coming from Fightful Select. So, question, what do you think this means if they get this television right extension talks for AEW? And would you want to see more pay-per-views added to the calendar yearly for AEW?
Here's the one thing I've always liked about AEW is that they don't have a ton of pay-per-views like WWE does. And like with WWE, I get why, because it's all about branding. But if they do add more pay-per-views, just again, don't go overboard. Don't add, a pay-per-view every month. Like,
well, it won't be AEW making that call. It'll be Warner Bros. Discovery making that call. So it's
well, this is kind of me thinking of what Warner Brothers should do. At the end of the day, it wouldn't surprise me if Warner Brothers is like, we need a pay-per-view every month. It's like,
right.
All right.
Exactly.
So, but if it happens, it happens. That's really my thoughts.
Okay. Yeah. So what this could mean is that I think the biggest thing, not necessarily pay-per-views, but it's like this could mean that they can finally get on HBO Max and basically start streaming from there and just pay a subscription fee monthly for HBO Max. They haven't announced anything for All In as of yet on how we can watch it. I'm assuming something like that may go down here in the next couple weeks. So Tony Khan's gonna have a big announcement, and this would be a big announcement if that does go down, because like instead of paying $60 for a pay-per-view every single, not every single month, but like, once every, 3 to 4 months, now you just pay that $9 or whatever it is, or $10, whatever it is, for HBO Max, and yeah, I think that would be it'd be a big penny saver, but also B, I mean, shit, if you don't have HBO Max, what the fuck you're doing? There's a lot of movies on there you can check out, and series or whatnot. So, so I think that'll be a big deal if that does happen. So, any lasting comments before moving on?
You can move on.
Okay. Colt Cabana has been 100% moved to Wednesdays as an AEW coach/producer going forward via PW Insider. So, yeah, I mean, despite what you think about Colt Cabana, if you're team Colt Cabana or team CM Punk, or if you don't care like me, yeah, I mean, it's good to see that he still has a job within AEW. Good to see that it's somewhat rectified, because there was rumors last year that, well, Colt Cabana's on TV anymore, like, and CM Punk's here, like, what's going on? So I think I'm okay with what he's doing there, and he's been in the business for years and years and years, and I'm pretty sure he has a good mind to things on what to do and how to do them. And Colt Cabana, he's comedically is pretty good at that, and also as well, he has had matches in the past, especially in Ring of Honor, where he's told fairly good stories. So it's good to have a mind there backstage for AEW. Any thoughts about Colt Cabana being moved to a producer role?
Good for him.
All right. Outside of that, here we have this is Trinity Fatu on leaving WWE. This is via the New York Post. She said, me and her, Mercedes, we just had each other, it felt like. Other than Tamina and Bailey checking on us regularly, that was it. We just had each other going through that. Nobody understands the magnitude of what happened. Obviously, if you lived under a rock. Basically, long story short, last year, Trinity, Naomi, and Sasha Banks, Mercedes walked out of WWE after putting their women's tag team titles on the desk of John Laurinaitis. And and basically, like, stories were going out there that Mercedes, she was the one that led the walkout, or Trinity, she was the one that led the walkout, and just back and forth, and just speculation. But yeah, she was saying that no one really checked on them other than Tamina. Obviously, Tamina, if you remember Team Bad, that was Tamina and Naomi and Sasha Banks, when they first came up to the main roster. Well, when Sasha first came up to the main roster, and Bailey. Obviously, Bailey is like, Sasha's best friend and a very good friend to Trinity as well. So, any thoughts about this here, as far as what Trinity said here? Do you look at the situation a little bit differently after the quote there from Trinity?
I look at it as just like it happened already. I think, I'm glad people kind of moved on from it. I'm not the biggest Sasha fan, but she looks like she's happy, outside of WWE, in Japan, and, she's doing a movie. So, good on her. Kind of wish they wanted that in a different way, but, whatever. Trinity, is an Impact, and she wants to wrestle and hone her craft. And I think eventually Trinity, Naomi will come back. I know her husband, her brother-in-law really wanted her to come back. So I think eventually Naomi will come back.
Maybe. I don't think she needs to come back, but maybe that can't happen. Also on top of that as well, she's about to wrestle Jesus Christ, Deonna Purrazzo at Summerversary for the Knockouts Championship. And also on top of that too as well, that there's rumors that they may main event. So if they main event, I think that's the first. I don't know if that's the first women's main event for a pay-per-view. I may be wrong as far as like TNA Impact is concerned. I may be wrong about that, but yeah, that'll be pretty cool to see though. But and last but not least, sad news coming from today. Mike Halleck, also known as Mantar from the New Generation era, passed away today. That's very unfortunate. He wasn't in WWE that long, but he definitely had one of the most memorable bad characters in wrestling history, Mantar. Just that crazy time back then. Mantar, Samba Simba, T.L. Hopper, Duke the Dumpster Drozy, the Goon, and all that. Yeah, so rest in peace, Mike Halleck. Condolences to his friends and family. He's not very known he wasn't very known, very popular wrestling superstar or whatnot, but it's always sad to hear a member of the wrestling family pass away, or no matter how famous they are. So, condolences to his family.
Yeah, man, condolences. I mean, I don't want to say before my time because I've been in the 90s, but like, yeah, just condolences. It's always sad when
it was like 1994, 95, yeah.
It's always sad when anyone in the business passes away. And I know Cornette managed him, so I'd be interested to hear what Cornette's going to say about him.
Yeah. So that's going to, we'll hear about that later this week, I'm sure. So outside of that, I don't really have any other new. Oh, yes, no. One more news story, and I'm surprised I didn't have this up. Brian Pillman Jr.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Brian Pillman Jr. He is gonna be leaving AEW. He's gonna be leaving AEW, and once this and that's one thing I do like about AEW. No matter what people say about AEW or whatnot, but they just don't get fired. They just don't let him go immediately. So, they'll let him, fulfill his contract out, and from there he'll be done with the company. I am surprised about this because I thought he was gonna be one of those young guys that they'll be able to utilize. Because think about it this way, right? It's like there's been some surprises in AEW, right? Since the beginning, that you thought that they weren't like certain superstars weren't going to be utilized until they were utilized a certain way. Like the Acclaim became tag team champions, right? One of the most over acts in the company, right? You got the Guns, just out of nowhere became tag team champions, and now they're part of Bullet Club, Gold now. You know what I mean? And they have a sweet entrance, sweet gear, all that stuff, right? I thought Brian Pillman Jr., especially since the son of Brian Pillman, who wasn't just like another wrestler, like this is like, the fucking loose cannon, you know what I mean? The guy that was in the Four Horsemen, the guy that was in the Hart Foundation, and just with the story of Brian Pillman and his unfortunate passing, and the story of Brian Pillman Jr., and the Dark Side of the Ring episode of Brian Pillman, and the story that Brian Pillman Jr. was in there, I thought that, AEW was going to be able to, utilize that. And, the fact that they didn't, I'm kind of shocked by. He's not a bad wrestler, you know what I mean? He is green on the mic, but, what's your thoughts about Brian Pillman leaving, AEW?
I mean, just, the guy's talented. And it's just, it's weird because when the Dark Side of the Ring episode happened, like, this guy was already, like, the biggest baby face because of, the documentary and him talking about, post-life and, dealing with his abusive stepdad. So it's just like, this is a guy you could have made into something. And AEW just, again, the boy who cried wolf, we don't know. Supposedly, I think there was an attitude problem on his part. I guess that's why they didn't push him the way that we wanted to, but I know it's favoritism, but like Sammy Guevara, like had backstage fight, you know what I mean? So I know it's favoritism, but it's like, yeah,
I don't totally believe that. I mean, I know it's political things as well. There could be some people backstage that didn't like him either. So who knows?
Right.
But yeah,
but I definitely think he should go to WWE. Go to NXT. I mean, as far as we know, there's no animosity. I mean, it's not like an Owen Hart thing. I don't think there's any animosity between him and WWE.
No. And speaking of animosity, there's no. And I just want to set on the record, there's no animosity between Brian Pillman Jr. and AEW either. So he
Right.
is leaving on good terms. So just want to put that out there. You know, if anything gets back to Brian Pillman Jr., just want to put that out there. That's he is leaving on good terms with AEW.
Right, but like he definitely should go to WWE, go to NXT, kind of cut his teeth there, and maybe see what he can do at NXT. I mean, they could use more people. I mean, they can definitely use more good wrestlers since, Braun's leaving. Eventually, Carmelo's going to leave. Maybe with the right push, with the right training, they can make him the face of NXT. Maybe.
Yeah. Possibly, yeah.
I mean, Triple H. It seems like a Triple H would be dying to sign is another generational talent. Because again, I don't know. I don't know. Triple H was probably friends with Bryan Senior, and I know Sean said that he got along with Bryan Senior. So that seems like a guy they need. They need more hands.
That'll be a good way to not necessarily make up, but
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Do you see? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was done.
No, I was gonna say outside of WWE because I wasn't really gonna bring up WWE. I was just gonna pose the question out there. Do you see him fitting anywhere else outside of AEW, with the exception of WWE?
If not WWE, I know people think he might go to Japan. I mean, maybe to kind of hone his craft. Maybe go to Impact. I don't know, but. To me, it's just like if he has a chance to go to WWE, I think he should take it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that he should go to NXT. He is not as green as everyone else there, so he's kind of like a Dragon Lee in a way, where he's going to be coming in with some fanfare already, for one. And also, number two, they can... You know how NXT does it. They will... have you sign, you'll be there for like a month or two or whatnot, and eventually you can be able to make some type of character, the character and the whole package with them. And since he is he's not a heart, but he's basically a heart. You know what I mean? Right. He's basically a heart. I know. You don't like her. I don't really like her much either as an on-screen character, but just having that association with Natalya can give him credibility right off the bat. You know what I mean? And obviously, just the name Brian. You don't need to change his name. If you make him Brian Pillman Jr., or if he wants to change his name, he can too as well. Because obviously, most likely WWE will probably change his name, and because they're not gonna be able to own Brian Pillman Jr. WWE wants to own everything, so you can make him Brian Billman.
Okay.
Yeah. For the flying Brian. You know what I mean?
Flying Pillman.
Or flying Billman. There you go, flying Billman.
Or Maurice is saying Von Kali's little brother.
Von Kali. No, he doesn't. No. Von Kali is no. By the time Pillman Jr. comes in, Von Kali is already going to be champion like 25 times. So that's going to be amazing.
25 times in 2 months.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like he drops the belt, and like he drops the belt on Raw, wins on the house show, drops the belt on SmackDown because he's so damn good that he needs to be on both shows. You know what I mean? So, and you know what's funny too? He got drafted. But he's still on NXT.
Oh, God.
Oh, Vince.
We don't need you going into another rant about the draft. So
my God, man, just so stupid. But anyway, yeah, but with Pillman Jr. though, like NXT, that's a spot for him. I know he still wants to wrestle. It doesn't seem like he doesn't want to wrestle. Yeah, I think that'd be a good spot for him, and I just think that I think Shawn Michaels will very much take care of him down there and in Orlando as well. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he lives in Florida already too. So I think that it can. Let's see.
And I was gonna say, like, Cody might also be kind of the gateway, to bring him in.
Possibly, yeah, possibly.
So.
But yeah, but regardless, I think that I think he'll be in a good spot. I really think he'll be in a good spot. So he's not even 30 years old yet. So he has time.
All right, that's all the news.
Yep.
All right, that's all the news, people. So let me get into these topics that I want to talk about with Justin. I wasn't able to do this one with him last week. So since we're already in July, we're in the middle of the year. I thought I'd do our mid-year, our mid-year choices for best and worst of the year, or we can just do favorite and least favorite. Since again, it's objective. So, favorite match of the year.
Triple threat match, WrestleMania Night 2, Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre. But I have very close second. I just got to throw that mention out there. Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega. And after thinking about it, I think I like their Forbidden Door match a little bit better.
I went with Rhea Ripley and Charlotte from Night 1 of Mania. What is your least favorite match of the year?
I mean, that's...
I think we have the same choice.
yeah, I was going to say the Pitch Black match, yeah.
Yep. Who is your favorite male wrestler of the year?
So far, Gunther. Probably Gunther.
I had time to think about this because originally I was going to go with Seth. I'm going to go with Gunther because Gunther is just like, he's been very consistent. He's had great match after great match. He had probably the best TV match of the year with Kevin Owens, and then he had what you just picked as your favorite match of the year, a match of the year candidate at Mania with Drew and Sheamus. So Gunther's money. So I'm gonna go.
But you want to know who's gaining ground on them right now for me? Ilya Dragunov.
Ooh,
I love Ilya Dragunov, man. I just don't. I know a lot of people are gonna pick Ilya because he's on NXT and I don't watch NXT. Yeah.
But that's a good choice. Who's your least favorite male wrestler of the year?
Oh. Nick Comoroto.
Okay.
I'm not gonna pick anybody that's like I gotta pick somebody who I really think is not good at all. I'm gonna go with Nick Comoroto from AEW.
I'm gonna go with Joe Gacy from NXT. Just never been a fan. Never cared for the guy. Who is your favorite female wrestler of the year?
Most likely it's probably Rhea, but I'm trying to think.
I'll go with Rhea.
It's probably gonna be Rhea, but I'm just thinking. I mean, I made a fucking mommy shirt for God's sake, so that should tell you. That should tell you something right there. But it's probably Rhea. I love Tiffany too. I love Tiffany, but I'm gonna go Rhea.
All right, we both got Rhea. Who is your least favorite female wrestler of the year?
Dana Botch.
To me, it's a tie between her and Cora Jade, but Dana is just awful, so I'm going with Dana. Who is your favorite tag team of the year?
Favorite tag team of the year? Oh, man. Usos is up there. Oh, man. I really like FTR. I really do. I really like FTR, man. I'm just trying to think. I'm not trying to miss anybody too at the same time. I'm gonna go FTR. I really love FTR. With it just even though they haven't been back too long, it's just I just love everything that they've been doing.
I'll go with the Usos. Who is your least favorite tag team of the year? What was that?
No, I'm thinking.
I'm gonna go with Hit Row.
I'm gonna go with the Varsity Athletes.
All right.
Is it? Are they the Varsity Athletes in AEW? Varsity.
I don't know.
Yeah, Varsity Athletes. There you go.
Who is your pick, in your opinion, for the most overrated wrestler of the year?
Most overrated wrestler of the year. Most overrated wrestler of the year. That's a good question, actually.
You already know my pick.
Oh yeah, I already know it.
I'm interested to know what your pick is, though.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I don't really see wrestlers overrated though. Like I don't really think like oh that wrestler he's so like either I like you or I can at least see like why people like you. Like I don't really think a wrestler's overrated. I don't know if that's a cop-out answer. Like I don't know.
Or I guess to make it easier, who's someone that you think has been overexposed?
Well, I mean, we already been talking about. I mean, now overexposed is not no. No, that's not. That's overexposed and overrated is different. It's two different things.
Well, I'm just
because if I say overexposed, I can be like, oh, not Roman Reigns, but I can be like, oh, fucking Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens or John Moxley. He's overexposed on AEW. I don't think he's overrated, but
yes, he is.
Well, well, I know what your pick is then. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Just say John Moxley.
No, I'm not gonna say because I don't believe that. Fuck me, man.
Say Duke the Dumpster Dosey. The Goon. The Goon's overrated.
Let me see. Okay, I will say for this year, not of all time, not of anything. I think he's one of the best wrestlers ever. But I'm gonna say Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Okay.
Because people are still thinking that he is what he was 5 years ago, 7 years ago, which he's not.
All right.
So I'm gonna go with Tanahashi.
Who is your pick for the most underrated wrestler of the year?
Who is your most overrated wrestler of the year? You didn't say that.
I made that very clear. Moxley.
Moxley. Okay. Yeah, I had to get that on record. Most underrated wrestler? Ooh.
There's a lot.
There is a lot, man. There really is a lot.
You want to know my pick, and you might be surprised.
Who?
Dragunov.
No, he's not underrated.
I say he's underrated because of this, because he's on NXT, and like
real fans know how good he is. Like,
yeah, real fans. The casual fans already know how good Gunther is, especially fans like us, the real fans. But Dragunov.
If Meltzer and fucking Alvarez think Dragunov's one of the best in the world, he's not underrated.
Okay.
He's like they fucking love Ilya and Gunther at that. I mean, that's me personally. I don't think he's underrated.
I mean, that's a choice. Thea Hale, I think, is underrated. Even though, she's 19.
That's not bad. That's not a bad pick at all.
Her Duke Hudson, I think, is really underrated. Okay. He's improved.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's another one? Is it fair to say Ricky Starks gets underrated sometimes?
No, he's very good at what he does. I think a lot of people love Ricky Starks. I'll give you one, Ethan Page.
Okay, I mean, he's decent. He doesn't bother. I mean, I don't hate him. I don't love him, but yeah, I think he's pretty good.
He's underrated. That's what makes him underrated. Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot there. I mean, I don't think we could really pick just one. There's a lot of there's a lot of people.
For sure.
That are just really goddamn good. Who is your pick as the most improved? I think we have the same choice.
We do. Wow, Tiffany.
You know what? I just found out today. She was trained by Greg Gagne.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's a Minnesota girl. She.
Oh yes, she is. She definitely is. Yes, because I think I see her like wearing like a Vikings jersey one time in like one of her pictures.
Yeah. Don Tony and Kevin Castle, they're mentioning it. She got trained by Greg Gagne, and then of course when she came to NXT, like, yeah, that explains why she has that mentality of like, I want to get better and I want to take this seriously. So much respect to Tiffany. What is your choice of the best moment of the year?
It's a Bloodline segment.
Yeah, all right.
Just the blood. Like, can I just say like the Bloodline story in general? Just like, is it the Jay super kick? Is it the? You know what I mean? Like, what can you really say is moment of the year? Yeah, I mean, it's just.
I mean, if you had to pick a personal favorite, like one that you find yourself going back to watch every now and again.
I mean, maybe I'll just go with the Jay super kick. No, you know what? I'll go with the Sami Zayn chair in the back to Roman at Royal Rumble.
I'm gonna go with the Jay super kick because it was one of those things where, like, we were expecting it, but the way they pulled it off was just so amazing. Because, you know, you thought Jay was gonna side with Roman because he was, you know, telling off his brother, and then he says, "And I'm out too," and then he super kicks the shit out of Roman. So I'm gonna go with that. Favorite pay-per-view of the year?
Mania Night 1.
All right. Mania Night 1. I'm going to go with that as well. Great show. And worst pay-per-view of the year? Or your least favorite pay-per-view of the year, I'm sorry.
Probably Revolution.
I'm going to do the same. That or Double or Nothing. Those are both not very good pay-per-views.
Oh, not Revolution. No, Double or Nothing. No. Revolution was a good show, but Double or Nothing was, yeah. Ooh, that was rough.
All right, there's something else I wanted to try, but I don't know if maybe we should save it for Saturday, or do you want to get it out of the way already?
Let's get out the way. We're rolling here, you know.
All right. So it's been a year since Triple H took over creative for WWE.
I'll stop right there. Hey, he didn't get a fucking year. He got up until fucking to the Endeavor merger, and once that shit went, it's Vince's show again, baby. But yeah, no. But go ahead.
Technically, he's, I guess, still in charge of creative, quote unquote. But let's just for argument's sake, say he's been in creative for a year. This isn't a bus flip, but I'm just going to go through the names of each wrestler that's either had more momentum or lost momentum in the past year with Triple H, at the helm. So, Monday Night Raw. Let's see, Bronson Reed.
More momentum, I guess.
Lately, he's been getting reactions, especially when he does that big dive. Or not dive, that big body splash. So, and I like Bronson Reed. I want to see him actually get over. Braun Strowman. Well, he's hurt. I know that.
He's hurt, but I'll just say, I'm just comparing to the last time he was in WWE. I would say about the same, which is good, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he, to his credit, he got reactions. So, Chad Gable.
About the same.
Yeah, it's kind of in the middle.
I mean, not the. I mean, and again, just press size is good.
Oh yeah. Judgment Day.
Oh well, they're the best thing on Raw, so definitely gain momentum. Probably one of the biggest gainers,
Especially Dominic.
Yeah, for sure.
Dexter Lumis.
Lost momentum
Yeah, it's
from the time that he came in to now. Very yeah.
Yeah, again, I was a fan of the guy, and just I don't know what went wrong. Drew McIntyre.
He just came back, so I don't. I mean,
I guess
really.
before, like, you know, under the Triple H regime, do you think he kind of
He lost momentum?
Yeah, like he, you know, again, I was a big Drew supporter. You know, whenever he was, you know, the COVID champion, I thought he did a good job. Ever since then, it's just like he's kind of been stuck in the middle. But we'll see what happens. The Viking Raiders.
They're about the same, really.
I think they've lost momentum. Like
no. They were already. Now, I'm not saying that they were good. They're already down there already. Like, how much fucking more lower can you go?
I don't know. They just, ever since they got on the main roster, there was the whole name change.
They had that great match against the New Day on SmackDown with the pirate ship and all that shit.
Yeah. You just had to remind me of that. It's like,
it was a damn good match.
I don't know. They get no reaction. Like, I know the Sarah Rowe thing, I think, is good. I think it adds to it somewhat. But
So you're saying that they had more momentum when Vince was around?
When they were in NXT, they had some momentum.
Nope. We're not talking about NXT because they were on Raw and SmackDown before Vince left.
They had no momentum even when Vince was there.
Okay, so they're the same. They're the same as they are right now. So
all right, yeah, okay, I'll go with that. Gunther, come on, please.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, he's terrible, awful. Terrible.
Just a channel changer.
He's gotten the biggest uplift of probably anybody.
Exactly. Johnny Gargano.
Unfortunately, lost momentum.
Yep. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Gain.
It's kind of a fluctuation of, like, they gained a lot of momentum, but ever since Mania, they've kind of, like, lost a little bit of it. But now it seems like...
But from where they were before...
Yeah, but I was saying, like...
Momentum.
I was saying just recently they've been kind of getting it back. So...
They gained... Even where they're at right now, even though I don't really like where they're at right now, it's still a lot better than where they were from before.
No, I get you. New Day.
Lost momentum. It's really not their fault. It's like injuries and shit, so...
Maximum Male Models.
I
think they're gonna be where they're gonna be.
I think as of right now, I think they slightly gained, and that's not, I mean, again, this is a bottom tier team, but I think they slightly gained because they were getting like reactions from a certain demographic fan base. You know, and the whole thing backstage or whatnot, but that's not saying much, so it's like, the shit I took yesterday is better than the shit that I took today. It's still shit.
Yeah, they're jobbers, that's their job. Matt Riddle. Yeah, I think he's lost momentum.
I think he's slightly gained it. You gotta think about the whole thing with him and Seth Rollins and what he did there, and with him and Randy for a little bit too as well. Well, with him and Randy was before it was Vince McMahon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
him and Seth was really good shit though.
Yeah,
you're saying that you didn't like the promos that they were having back and forth, that sit down, and
I like the promos. I just didn't like the matches.
they're good. What are you talking about? They weren't great. They weren't like fucking like matches of the year, but they were good matches.
I mean, it's just like, you have that epic promo where, Seth calls him out, calls him a bitch ass and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, we're in for a blood feud. We're in for like an ass kicking contest. And then Matt comes out the next pay-per-view on his fucking scooter, smiling and waving at the fans. It's like, no.
So what's that got to do with the momentum, though?
They just kind of killed his character and made him look like a fucking goof and a pussy.
I don't agree with that. I think he's about the same for the most part.
I don't know. Again, I want Matt to do well. It just seems like maybe they lost faith in him. That's just my opinion. The Miz, about the same.
The same, yeah.
The Miz is always going to be the Miz. Ricochet.
Gain momentum a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
I agree. Riddick Moss.
The same.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things of like you have to gain momentum to lose momentum. So I think he's kind of where he's at. Let's see. Seth Rollins obviously gained it.
Yeah, gained. Yeah.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Gained slightly, but gained. Better than where he was from before.
I think he's going to be a WWE lifer, in my opinion. He looks like he's happy to be there. Sangha and Veer.
Boss. I don't know. I don't even know how you answer that fucking question. From where they were in NXT, I guess. Lost momentum, I guess. I don't know.
I dig them as a tag team.
Yeah. Oh! But they're coming again all of a sudden. They're
coming. I'm gonna be there.
Fuck that. Oh my god! I hate this pairing so fucking much, man.
All right, let's move on. Tommaso Ciampa.
Since he's came back, he's gained for sure.
All right, Becky Lynch.
About the same, which is on top. So there you go.
Yeah. Candice LeRae.
Lost momentum.
Yep. Chelsea Green. She's really gained momentum.
She's gained. She's surpassing on what I thought she was going to be at already. She's she's definitely gonna be a champion one day, just with what she's doing.
Yeah, like me and RJ agree on one thing. I think she's probably one of the better rehirings of the Triple H regime.
Absolutely, she like I don't know why. I mean, I know why WWE let her go, but I think Vince is starting to see her character work now. He's like, oh fuck, why did I let go of her in the first place? I really think that Vince will she's the type that Vince will take a liking to for sure. Just off of her character work alone.
All right. Dana Brooke.
I mean, you can't get any worse than that.
Yeah.
She's exactly the same where she's been at.
Emma.
I can't really answer that. I mean, I can't say that she lost momentum because when she came back to WWE, she was already bottom tier anyway. So the same from when she came in, I guess.
Let's see, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, they've gained.
Gained, yeah, slightly from where they were at, but yeah, gained for sure. They are the best women's tag team in WWE and probably in the world. So,
Liv Morgan.
From when it was taken over, was she champion when Vince left?
Yeah.
So, all right, well, and naturally she lost it. So, yeah, so she lost momentum because she lost championship. So,
all right. Maxine Dupree.
Gain.
Yeah, she's gained a little bit. I like her with Alpha Academy. Natalia, about the same.
About the same, yeah. No different.
I'm gonna do two. Nikki Cross and Piper Niven. They've lost.
Nikki, yes. Piper's the same though. She ain't losing momentum. She's just the same where she was from before, not being used on TV.
Raquel Gonzalez. Rodriguez, I'm sorry.
Slightly lost.
But kind of gaining it back. Rhea Ripley, obviously gained. Like, she has all the momentum in the world.
Yeah, she's on Gunther level right now.
Ronda Rousey.
Oh, man, you're talking about a big-ass fucking drop-off.
Yeah, she's gone. She'll be gone in a month. Shayna Baszler.
Believe it or not, gained. And it's kind of weird. By association with Ronda, she gained.
Right.
Because before that, she wasn't doing shit.
Yeah. And now it looks like Ronda's is gonna do the job for Shayna on the way out, so cool. Sonya Deville.
Gained.
I like Sonya. I've always liked Sonya. Let's see, Trish Stratus.
I don't know how to answer that, but yeah, I guess gained. She gained momentum. She's a legend. Like, I don't know how you can answer that one.
Zoe Stark.
Gained for sure. She definitely did. Yeah.
Yep, I like Zoe. AJ Styles.
AJ Styles about the same. Maybe I'll probably say slightly decreased, but like he's not really being used a lot now. He wasn't really being used a lot like back this time last year. So
the Street Profits.
Top tier tag team, but slightly lost momentum because they're not in the tag team hunt, not the title hunt. So
yeah, I mean, they had that epic feud with the Usos, and ever since then, it's just like they're just another. I don't want to say another tag team on the show, but it's like they get featured a lot, but they don't really do anything. So
there's no substance with their utilization.
Right. Hit Row lost.
I mean, I won't say they lost any momentum. They were on the bottom, so they're about the same where they were.
Right.
Like,
and
you can't lose momentum if you don't have no momentum. So
right. This guy we already agreed on, Austin Theory. He's lost momentum.
Not from this time last year. He's gained momentum. He's used the US. Now I will say that from the time that
recently
he was with Johnson, recently lost momentum. But from this time last year, he gained a fucking lot of momentum. Like, you gotta think where he was. You know, he was Mr. Money in the Bank, but he wasn't like it was shite for what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah, exactly. But just as of late, he's lost momentum since Mania.
Yeah, but he's gained momentum overall.
Yeah, exactly. Bobby Lashley
lost momentum.
Yep, which sucks. Because I love him. The Brawling Brutes
gained momentum overall, but lost momentum recently.
Cameron Grimes, he's barely on the show, so I don't know if
I can't answer that question. I mean, lost momentum because he was on NXT this time last year doing shit. So
let's see, LWO
gained momentum.
Do you think Zelina Vega has kind of gained a little momentum?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Escobar, same thing.
Yeah, all of LWO.
Right. Edge, Hall of Famer, so we can skip that.
Yeah.
The Pretty Deadly.
Oh, gain momentum, baby. Yes, boy.
Yes, boy. Friday Night Snackdown. Grayson Waller has of late gained a little momentum.
Yeah.
The Usos obviously gained momentum.
Well, they lost all the momentum in the world.
They suck. The Good Brothers.
Again, they came back and they haven't done anything, so you can't say gain, can't say loss. They're the same from where they were when they came back. So,
this kind of hurts. Karrion Kross.
From the time they came in, near the top of the card, definitely lost momentum for sure. Yes.
Do you think he needs to be a face?
No. Fuck no.
I say that because it's like you look at him and Scarlett, they're always posting like happy pics together, and then recently, like they were at the Barbie premiere with Liv Morgan, and I don't know. It's just like, I guess it's like from the outside looking in as a casual fan, you see this guy supposed to be this mean, scary character on television, and then you see him in real life, and he just looks like a sweetheart. So I don't know.
Well, MJF posts pictures of him like working out and like him hugging his fucking cats and shit. Doesn't mean he's a fucking face.
Yeah, but MJF also kind of keeps kayfabe for the most part. You know, with Cross, he kind of knows when to differentiate the two. But I don't know. It was a question. Just curious. LA Knight obviously gained momentum.
Oh, yeah. He's one of the top guys in the company right now.
Roman Reigns lost momentum.
He fucking sucks. He sucks dick.
He's no longer the tribal chief. He sucks. Solo Sikoa obviously gained momentum.
Solo Sikoa gained.
Alba Fire and Aladon
Gained.
Asuka
Gained.
Yeah, gained.
From where she was at, gained, yeah.
Bailey, kind of the same.
Lost momentum from when she came back.
Yeah, she needs to be a face again. Bianca Belair.
That's an interesting one. She was champion. She's not champion now, but she's about the same. She's about the same, but she's on top of the card as far as on the women's side of things.
Right. Yeah, I'll agree. Charlotte Flair.
It's fucking Charlotte. Like, it's like Edge. Just skip her. Like,
yeah,
she's never gonna lose no fucking momentum.
Io Sky.
Gained.
Money in the Bank winner, so she's gained. Lacey Evans.
Same.
Yeah. Michin.
Same.
Shotzi.
Same.
All right. And that's pretty much it on the main roster. We can do NXT and just run through that. Chase U, they've gained. They've gained.
Yeah, gained.
Axiom.
Gained.
Baron Corbin.
Recently gained.
All right, I agree. Braun Breaker.
Gained.
Yeah, he's the biggest star on that show, and he's going to be on the main roster pretty soon. Brooks Jensen and who's the guy he teams up with? I forget his name.
Shit, I know his name now. Now you made me forget it too.
Josh Briggs.
Yeah, I was gonna say Evolve champion. like I know. Yeah.
But
slight gain, from where they were previously. Where they were just there, but like they had like world, tag team title shots on pay-per-views and shit. So slightly gained.
The Creeds.
Unfortunately, lost momentum. That kind of hurts to say.
Yeah, they'll be fine on the main roster.
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes obviously gained.
Yeah, he's the top guy.
Channing Stacks Lorenzo.
Gained.
Charlie Dempsey.
Gained.
Dijak.
Gained.
Dragon Lee.
Well, he's brand new, so gained, I guess.
Drew Gulak.
Gained with association with Dempsey.
Right. Eddie Thorpe.
Brand new. So I guess he gained a little bit.
Ilya Dragunov obviously gained.
Yeah.
Joe Coffey.
Well, I mean, he wasn't on TV much last year. Now he's back on TV again, and he's part of Gallus, which is the World Tag Team Champions, or the NXT Champion, so gained.
Joe Gacy, he's lost momentum.
He didn't lose momentum. I don't think he lost momentum. I think he's about the same where he is.
I mean, there was a point where he was like, top of the card, and he was feuding with Braun for the NXT titles, and now he's just there. So, I mean, yeah, they gave him his own group, but
I think he's the same.
Nathan Frazier
gained.
That theme is fire. I love that theme. Scripps.
Scripps, I mean, the same from where he was when he came. I mean, barely does any matches, so.
Tony D'Angelo.
He's for like a whole bunch of people too, but anyway.
Well, I mean, I don't want to go through everybody because there's a lot of people that are on the roster, and there's a lot of people that aren't even on TV. So I'm just mainly going for the people that are on TV. Malik Blade and who's the other guy?
Idris Enofe.
Idris Enofe.
Yeah, gained.
Tony D.
He's about the same. It just, and plus he was injured too for a good chunk of that too. So he's about the same, but he's probably about to win the tag team titles anyway. So he'll be gaining a little bit.
Trick Williams.
Gained.
Tyler Bate.
Gained, but I just don't like what they're doing. Even he's game woman, but I don't like what they're doing with them.
Right. Wesley gained.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna end with the women. Amari Miller.
Gained.
Ariana Grace.
That hasn't. I mean,
she's not really on TV. Right. Ava Rain.
Gained.
Ava Rain.
Gained.
Yeah, she needs to get better at talking, but yeah, she's fine where she's at. Blair Davenport.
She's not bad at talking. I mean, if you're comparing her to the fucking Rock, okay, no.
No. I'm not doing that at all. I'm comparing her as just her, and it's just like she needs to get a little better. But I'm not going to cut her out.
What does she need to get better at?
She just needs to get better, dude. Like I can't. It's one of those things I can't really explain. But when I hear her talk, I'm like,
Do you think that's because she's in this? She's in Schism, and she has to talk like all mysterious and shit.
That might be it. I mean, I'm not saying put her in the bloodline. I'm just like, I don't know. Just in my opinion, her and Schism, I don't think it works well. Like I think she can. I mean, I'm not saying she's a great promo, but I think she can hold her own on the mic. So, all right. Blair Davenport.
Gained.
Yep, they're pushing her. Cora Jade. I think she's lost.
No, I don't think she lost, but I think she's about the same for where she was last year.
Well, I mean, I say lost, and I'm not the biggest Cora Jade fan, but like they were really going out of their way to push her and make her into something. Like they want her to be their next AJ Lee, but just lately they've been putting her in weird feuds that don't make any sense. So, like, especially for someone that they want to push, but that's just me. Elektra Lopez
lost momentum.
Yep.
Once fucking Legado left, like, man, that really hurt her.
Fallon Henley.
Gained. She gained momentum for where she was. Because she was just the backstage girl and all that stuff. Then she ended up becoming one half tag team champions.
Gigi Dolan.
Unfortunately, lost. Because she went from being like the tag team champions to like now doing like, now like the difference between her and Cora Jade is that Cora Jade didn't have a big drop off.
Right.
Gigi Dolan had a big drop off. It's not like in ring or like on the mic or whatnot. It's just her utilization on TV. Her breaking up with JC Jane. I think they both lost momentum overall. So
I think they need to put them back together.
I think so too. I agree with that.
Like, and it's an easy fix. Like, just have Gigi go heel again. Have them like find each other and just be a tag team again. Like they were better together. Because I don't think Mandy is coming back anytime soon. Matter of fact, I don't even think she's coming back at all. But yeah, just put Gigi and JC back together. They were much better together. Ivy Nile.
About the same, but maybe a slight gain. Because she's been wrestling more.
Right.
And she's been improving, so a slight gain, but like not much, you know.
Kiana James.
Wait, Kiana James. Oh, gain momentum.
Yep, they've been pushing her lately. So, Lash Legend.
You know, I'm not the biggest fan of her, and have seen some improvements. I can admit it. Gain momentum.
I think it's about the same. Lyra Val.
No, you can't say that. She was not being used on TV. Now she's in a fucking faction now, and she has a direction.
I mean, yeah, she's being used more, but I'm not saying she's bad. I'm not saying she's bad anymore, but it's just I think it's about the same, in my opinion. Lyra Valkyria.
I love Lyra. Definitely gain momentum, for sure.
Miko Satomura, is she even on the show?
No,
okay,
not at all.
Nikita Lyons, she has an injury.
I mean, she's been injured, so naturally lost momentum because of that.
Roxanne Perez.
This time last year, she wasn't champion yet. She won the title. Overall, it's gain momentum, but she's lost momentum since she lost the title.
Right.
But overall, it's still a gain.
Sol Ruka, I'm sorry.
She's injured, but prior to that, she was gain momentum.
I like her. Stevie Turner.
Gain momentum because she was on TV last year. Now she was game vignettes and shit. So I don't know what the fuck she's doing right now. So there you go.
Tatum Paxley.
She's about the same.
Yeah, I agree.
A little bit more momentum, then it dipped back to where she was at previously.
Thea Hale.
Gained. Huge gain.
Speaking of huge gain, Tiffany Stratton.
Gained.
Gained. Valentina Feroz and Yulisa Leon.
I gained. They both gained.
Yep. And then Wendy Chu.
Oh, Wendy, she's injured. But Brian said she was gaining momentum though, because she had that she went up against Tiffany. She did lose, and she had that one match with the that I guess that hardcore match with the fucking Legos that came out. So, but but she's injured right now. So
All right, then that's everything. That's everything we have on our show, and did about 223. This Saturday's Q&A episode 18. If you haven't sent in your questions, send them in already. And if you did send in some questions, send in some more questions. And just try to keep them fun. I mean, the questions are always fun, but like we mentioned before, try not to be gross with these questions. You know what I mean? Just try to keep it fun. But anyways, guys, we are done for the night. Justin, do you have anything else to
add? No, just support this show here. Follow Drew on social media. Also as well. His podcasts are on like Google Play and Spotify and all that stuff. So check it out. Check that out. Also follow me on Twitter too. Not Twitter on I have Threads now, so Spinebuster T is on Threads, Spinebuster T is on Instagram, so, yeah. Oh, yeah, and, just, off record, I told Drew this on, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, but, yeah, a certain wrestling legend gave me his phone number, so, it could be, maybe not immediately or anything like that, but, I could have a potential signing at the shops, maybe by the end of the year. So we'll see.
right. And just to give you a hint, he's buff. He's buff, he's tough, and the girlie's just
we don't want to just give it away, Drew. Like it's supposed to be. Hey, I don't think he's supposed to know that I gave out. So.
But I'll just cut that segment out. But my boy Justin, he's going places. He's the store is doing great. You got a lot of followers on social media, and man, he's if y'all need to know how to get followers and traction and clicks and views, I'm your guy. Just come talk to me. I can help you out. Yeah. And if you're in the San Antonio area, if you're in the Texas area, if you feel like making a road trip, come on down to Spinebuster Tees over at Wonderland Mall of America. It's on the top floor, and you won't be disappointed. It has everything you need as a wrestling fan. It has Funko Pops. It has T-shirts, hats, all types of collectibles. And
not even just that too. Like if you're just into collectibles in general, just go to that mall in general. Like you will find something you will like. I guarantee you. Like it's very underrated in San Antonio. I don't know why not more people go to that mall.
It's like anyone that lives in San Antonio, maybe you'll identify with this more. It's like Ingram. Ingram is like Amazon, and Wonderland is more like eBay. And that's not even an insult, because eBay's got some cool shit. Most of the shit I have, I got off eBay. So, if you're looking for something very specific, come to Wonderland Mall of America. You know, if you like anime, there's like a lot of anime stores in the mall. If you like, retro video games, there's a retro video game shop. If you like, Marvel, DC, collectibles, there's a store for that. There's a store for, DVDs, VHSs, vinyls. There's everything, of course. Like I just mentioned, there's a wrestling store that Justin has. So they even have
there's a wrestling store there. I need to check it out.
There's a wrestling store. There's a dude named there's a dude named Dustin who runs it.
His name's Dustin. My name's Justin. How weird is that?
Yeah, and he's black.
Oh no.
He's trying
to take over. He's trying to do exactly what I'm doing.
Might want to look into that.
Oh my god, man. That was funny.
But yeah, guys, if you're in the San Antonio area, check out my boy's store, Wonderland Mall of America's Spinebuster Tees with Justin, not Dustin.
Yeah, and not to mention, like, if you don't live in San Antonio and you want to kind of get a little feeling what's to offer, SpinebusterTees.com, guys. I got a lot of great shirts on there. You don't have to worry about, waiting long, maybe about a week for the shirts to get to you there. And I have all sizes up to 3XL online. And a lot of good modern designs on there too as well. So, so hit me up on Instagram if y'all have any questions. But if not, then just go and order yourself a t-shirt. I got a summer special. Get extra 10% off for online orders only. And if you get orders over $40, it's free shipping. So take advantage of that while you can.
Nice. All right, guys, we're done for the night. We'll see you this Saturday for the Q&A. And be safe and peace out.
Peace.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.